this is Barry Donaldson. Thank you for listening. We're here in Chicago at MMG Studios. Welcome to another edition of Success Talk. I'm really excited today in the studio. You just never know who's going to come to MMG. And what I'm excited about today, because out of nowhere popped a former NFL player, Mr. Shawn Harper. Shawn, how you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Just had a chance to come down in this great Chicago area. Great fun, great people, great food. And great food, so it's awesome. It works.
Awesome. Now, Shawn, he's a former NFL player for Indianapolis Colts. He'll tell you a story in a minute. What's amazing is that he's also an entrepreneur. He's also a motivational speaker. He speaks worldwide to groups who are looking to change their lives. So, Shawn, welcome to Success Talk. Tell us a little bit about Shawn Harper. Where are you from? What got you to this position right now in life?
Well, I'm originally from, and I still reside in Columbus, Ohio. I played about 4 years in the NFL, 3 years in NFL Europe. I love to have an opportunity to intermingle and to basically invest in people. I use the word invest because I see people as the greatest investment. Yeah, I love stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, but when you invest in people, it has the potential of reaping generations of dividends, and you know what? I'm all about the residuals.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Considering the fact that we're in a residual-based business, that's amazing. So you played 4 years in the NFL. A lot of people, Shawn, they're out there, got their dreams and goals. Maybe as you as a young athlete playing one day in the NFL, especially for a team like Indianapolis Colts, it was a championship team. If a person was listening to this and they're like, okay, man, I just want to get to my dreams and goals in life, and what would you tell them? How did Shawn start? What would you tell this person? What should they believe in, where they are right now in their life to get to where they want to be?
Well, number one, I am a firm believer that a setback is a setup for a comeback. I actually was documented with about 4 to 5 learning disabilities. I stuttered my entire life, but the one thing that I had that was instilled in me by my mother was vision. Vision basically is seeing what others don't, going where others won't. And so I cast my vision of playing in the NFL when I had insurmountable odds stacked against me, but I focused on where I was going to, not what I was going through. And I had all the naysayers. I had people laughing and people talking. But the key in this and basically what you had confirmed earlier was focused. I started with the end in mind, and I manifest my destiny through faith, through positive work habits, and most importantly, my focus.
Wow, it's amazing you said you have this disability, and the stuttering was, just like you're stuttering to me, and it's like you're a guy that knows what he wants. That's amazing because, most people, Shawn, would have given up. They say, okay, look, I got this disability, I stutter, I got this, I got that. I'm one of those kind of guys. I'm a food stamp recipient guy. I stood in those lines, got the government cheese. And for all intents and purposes, should not have been successful. So I totally relate to what you're talking about, and you're talking about, having that faith and focus. Now, let's say a person get knocked on their back. Let's say if a person stumbles. Let's say the person have all these different pitfalls and obstacles. How do they overcome it?
Well, you know what? You have to actually realize that is a part of the process. The key, as I mentioned earlier, is your focus. And if you can look up, you can get up. It's when you stay down is when you have a problem. Every single successful person, I've done research on hundreds of them, and every single one of them had that defining moment where they didn't react to their situation. They responded to their situation. They realigned their focus, and they got up. The more times you get up, the more times you'll win.
That's great, because, when I was in high school and I was in junior high, my junior high principal and my elementary principal, I was in a small town in Arkansas, they told me that I would never amount to anything, mainly because my grandfather actually died an alcoholic. He actually was a guy who actually got killed for $10. He got actually killed over $10. And so I was told by them that, you're never going to amount to anything because you're such and such a grandson. You know what I mean? And I went back to my high school, my 25th year anniversary, as one of the most, if not the most successful student ever to leave those halls in an Arkansas school. So I am a student of what you're preaching about. Mm-hmm. I am one of those guys who was knocked on his back and got up and looked up and got up and made something out of my life. And that's amazing because I think, Shawn, if a person, just think about this for a second. You dreamed about being in the NFL. What was it like? I want the audience, I want you to listen to this. What was it like when they announced, or your agent called you and they announced your name saying that you have been drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. What did that feel internally? What was that like?
You know what? It was probably one of the greatest moments